This is BBC One, Hard at It.
Well, I've got my tools at the ready, and today I bring you a man who's DIY illiterate in 12 different languages.
Jet-setting linguist Saeed Khan prefers to spend his time conjugating verbs in Finnish rather than starting DIY jobs at home. Even when he took a month off work to help his wife Tasmia with the decorating, he just spent his time listening to music, talking Italian and mugging up on the Eurovision Song Contest, another of his passions, unlike DIY.
Well, he may be able to speak a dozen different languages, but he can't talk his way out of this one. Over the next 2 days, the big strong boys, Jake and Gavin, are going to teach him a thing or two.
That's the ladders. You get clean with that.
Said's not into sort of DIY, and I only do it because he doesn't do it.
So, Saeed, what have you got in store for me and Gav then?
Well, today, Jake, we'd like you to do this door here. We need the whole of the staircase doing, painting.
I like things to be done, so I have to do them, and you know, if I waited for Said to do them, they won't get done till the next century.
We've got the brass pole to put here in the on
That's
the
just
staircase.
down here, isn't it? That's really cool.
That's the one, yes.
I organise activities for Asian women, arts and crafts and leisure activities. And try to sort of get them to participate in training programmes.
So you don't have any time to do these kind of jobs around the house, do you?
I come back home at 5, pick up Haroon, and then start at about 6, 7 o'clock and go to bed till about 11, 12.
I've had a go at decorating in here. It probably needs a bit of a touch, though.
It's got vinyl silk on it, though.
That should have been matte. That should have.
Well, I didn't know you were supposed to put mats on the wall. I don't know anything about DIY.
Is it your idea to bring in Jake and Gavin then?
No, it was Said's idea because I asked him that if he could do the landing because I did the other 2 rooms.
That's what we've got to do then.
Well, Haroon, who's a toddler, as you've seen, he tends to race around as toddlers do, and I'm a bit concerned that we've got glass in this. I don't even know if it's safe at all. So I don't know if you could come up with some kind of idea.
It's not laminated glass, but I think you'd be better off with me and Gav whipping this out and actually putting some spindles in there.
Right.
So it looks more traditional, like a normal staircase.
Okay.
And I gather you're not going to stay here tonight?
No, I'll be staying at my parents' for the night, and I hope you do get him to do a lot of the stuff.
Well, try and teach him something so that he can help you around the rest of the house.
We just had the bathroom redone completely, which is why there's a bit more space here.
Yeah.
And that door looks fine to me, so I'd like the other 3 doors on this landing to
You want them all
look
changed
a bit more like
match.
that.
Exactly that.
Yeah, if there's some way you can put, I don't know, panelling or something like that.
Yeah, all right, we'll sort
Seen
that
the
out.
sort of miracles you work.
Don't you dare take your feet off there, Saeed.
Don't worry, I've got a good grip.
Good.
Why do we have to paint all this white again anyway, Gav?
Because it had been done, hadn't it, Saeed, in vinyl silk, which is a shiny finish. And because we've got the paper on 2 of the walls, we're going to have to use a matte finish.
I was looking at this door earlier, up here, and I think this design's quite nice. So what we do, a replica of that and put it all the way around here, down, and have a bar going across. So we're going to make that out of MDF and then paint it up. It's going to look wicked.
You're probably one of the few people or viewers of the Eurovision Song Contest who understands every language they sing in.
Yeah, I suppose I do actually, now that you come to mention it.
Do you? What are your favourite languages then?
I suppose I like to listen to songs in Italian, French, Spanish. They're the best languages for songs.
So you're a bit of an aficionado then on the Eurovision?
I would say so, yes.
Yeah? Let me think, right. 1978, how did Luxembourg do and who was the artist and title of their entry?
Well, that's a particular favourite of mine. That was Parlez-vous français by Baccarat, the only Spanish group ever to enter for Luxembourg. But unfortunately they only came 7th, even though I think they should have won.
He's showing off now.
I know.
Eurovision. You either love it or hate it, don't you? And painting over this vinyl silk is just as much fun. We're covering it with a mixture of PVA glue and white matte emulsion. Meanwhile, out in the cold, Jake's cutting up MDF strips for the door in the hall and taking the opportunity to teach Saeed a thing or two about woodwork.
Right, Zaid, how you doing, mate?
Hello there, Jake. Fine. How are you?
Oh, not bad, not bad. Bit
Yep.
chilly con carne out here.
Yeah, it's rather nippy.
Right, you know the 2 panel doors you've got at the top by the stairs?
Yep.
Well, I'm going to do this identical to the doors you've got there. Basically, you've got a handsaw, you guide it, your thumb's the guide. So, down here, there's your thumb, there's your saw, very simple. Saw blade up against the thumb, that's your guide. Now, you don't stick it down there, just hold it there. This is a nice little guide, like that. And just follow the line. Let the saw do the work, don't keep pushing it like that. All right, off you go, mate.
Here goes.
See what happens. Woohoo! That's it, down you go, follow the line.
Wow.
See,
Easier than
that
it looks.
easy, that easy. It's easy, easy, mate. Right, simple now. Get some glue, just wood glue, normal water-based wood glue, okay?
Right.
All the way down. And that's all you need to apply. You don't need to go top heavy on it, put loads of splodges, okay? That's plenty. And this glue will go off in about 15 minutes. Right, hammer and nails. You can tell me you've never done this before, haven't you?
Not for a long time.
You're going to say back at school. Right, very simple again.
Never as straight as that, I have to say.
Right, very easy. Hold it in position. Now, angle your hand. Don't have it like that. You're going to smack your hand.
Yeah.
So just
Like
hold
that.
it like that. Give it a little tap. 2 little taps.
Right.
Pull that flush, and then just look at the end of the hammer and the nail head, and you can't go wrong. Don't be doing that, otherwise you're going to end up with with a pinch.
Right.
So down we go, like that. So tap tap and then bang it in. That's it.
Oh.
Right, that's all right. So that in a minute. Just strain it up. There you go, sorted.
Right.
That easy.
Okay.
Jake does make it look so easy, and the revamped door is finished in no time. In the world of DIY, some things appear a little strange at first, but then there's normally a good reason for it. Good little tip if you have to paint spindles like this is put some cup hooks in the end, just like that, so that once you've finished painting them, simply hook them on a washing line, leave them to dry.
What's that you got in your hand?
This is plastic film.
All right.
And if we're going to be taking this out, I reckon with a bit of a safety issue, if we put this over the glass,
Yeah.
if we break it, or when.
So he doesn't want to keep it though, does he?
No, he doesn't. But I'm just saying, if it breaks, that way it's all going to be stuck together, so we won't get any bits falling down.
Okey croaky.
For the removal of any piece of glass, this is a good safety tip, in the unlikely event that it shatters.
What are you putting on there then, mate?
Just a bit of thicker tape as well, so if it does go,
Is that a bit of gaffer?
yeah, if it does go, that'll hold it, hopefully.
La 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 la.
Other essentials are safety goggles and thick leather gloves. They're trying to get the glass out in one piece. The first thing to remove is the beading and then the putty. Unfortunately, this putty's not shifting.
That's
It's
no
not
good.
coming out, is it?
Use a bit of soft with a hammer. It's not coming out.
They have no choice but to hammer a little harder.
Take it slowly, mate. Slowly.
Right then, that's it. Lovely, Jim. Should you pull it out then?
Yeah, mind your fingers. Oh, hang on.
Just as well they took precautions, really.
Well, at least the plastic's working. Hey.
Well, that's the nastiest job out of the way. Now I do the easy bit and discuss colours with Saeed.
What I'd like to do really is put dark purple on this wall and the wall where the window is opposite us.
Okay, straight down to the lower level.
Down to where it meets the hallway, yeah.
Okay.
And then on the opposite walls, a contrasting lighter colour.
What about this area and all the spindles which are now primed and ready to be painted?
Could we have those light, maybe?
That's probably the best way around it. Do all this light here, rest of the woodwork dark, this wall dark, and round the back of us all light. Let's crack on.
So, Syed, do you teach other people languages as well?
Well, occasionally I'm called upon to do that sort of thing. For example, with the Eurovision Song Contest 2 years ago. Ulrika Jonsson, who was the presenter, she needed to say good evening and welcome in 25 languages. And they had about 20 minutes in which to find these languages, so I sourced them for her and sat there and taught them to her.
Did you pick them up quickly?
Yeah, she's got a good gift for languages.
Back outside, Jake's cutting the ready-made banister base for the spindles to slot into.
So how are you fitting those spindles then, Jake?
Very easy. We're going to put the spindles in here like that, okay? And you just space them out all the way along. Well, I'm going to space it out about 120 millimetres each.
Right.
So I've worked it all out.
Are they all the right size then?
No, well, it's all sort of one frame. It is in sections, but it's all stuck together. So I don't start taking it apart, otherwise it's going to cause a bit of grief. So, we're going to have to cut these. All right, that's a different height, that's a different height. All the way along, it's all different. And the same with the other one. So, they'll be all right, be fine. They're going to look really good when they're done. Sorted, done. Easy, very easy.
Is it really that easy?
Yeah, get these from any local timber merchants, ready-made.
Yeah?
Yeah, just cut them to size.
So don't always assume that your banister frame is level, and then use the spirit level to ensure the spindles are vertical. It's a big paint job, and we're almost at the end of the first day, so we asked Steve, our carpet fitter, to help too. With the spindles to length and spacers in position, nails top and bottom will hold them in place.
Thanks.
Right, mate. Mr. Manana.
Mr. Manana.
Well, it's the beginning of our second day, and not only did Steve help us finish off all the painting last night, but he then had to start fitting the carpet. You're just finishing off early this morning. So, Steve, what's the most important thing when you're choosing a carpet for the stairs, then?
Quality of the carpet's important. We want something that's got a nice tight pile, a dense weave to it. This one's 80% wool, heavy wear and twist pile. Also the preparation's important, quality of the underlay, nicely stretched over the grippers, things like that. All the little technical bits that make it look nice at the end.
And also mean that somebody like you, an expert, should do it, and not complete novices, so I'll get out your way. Okay.
Okay. Right, well, that's me finished.
I should have guessed. Oh yeah, I suppose we've got a 5-minute break. Can't beat them.
Well, we couldn't carry on until the carpet was down anyway, could we? That's quite enough of that. Back to work, you lot. Out comes Jake's trusty nail gun again. Of course, a hammer and nails do the same job, it just takes longer.
What we'll be doing is putting a new banister in for Saeed, and we've got this lovely brass pole here. I can't find a tape measure, so I'm using tape to measure with. It's a substitute. So we're just measuring that. That's for the shorter bit of the pole, because we're going to go up the right-hand side of the staircase, and when we get to the top, a bit more on the right-hand side as well. One thing I've got to allow for as well is the size of the knobs. Now these will be going in the end of the pipe, like so. So obviously I've got to make it quite a bit shorter to accommodate these. What we're going to be using to cut this with is a standard hacksaw. We've gone for one with quite a few teeth. I mean, you can get bigger teeth and not so many, so it's quite a high ratio of teeth per inch of hacksaw blade. And when marking the brass pole, hold your thumb there and very lightly just score it like so. You don't need to cut through in a hurry, just to get it started off. Because with this brass, the worst thing is if you slide the saw across there and you scratch it. Also, I'm going to leave the tape on whilst cutting it, because any cuts that side, if I do scrape off, it will just hit the tape and not the brass pole.
Jake and Gavin could really do with a hand, but where has Saeed got to?
There you are, Saeed. Avoiding the work, eh?
Yeah, afraid so, yes.
Doing a bit of Eurovision research, just in case we ask you some more questions.
Actually, that had crossed my mind. I thought I'll look through some of my records and see what I've got.
Where are you going to store them?
Well, I hope to put them in the loft.
That's a hint, boys. Saeed needs to improve access to his loft.
Good, isn't it?
In the meantime, Gavin's smoothing off the rough edges of the pole, and I'm using metal polish to clean them. Apart from music, Saeed's other excuse for avoiding DIY is his passion for cooking. But we're not complaining. He's making us a dish with an international flavour.
¿Qué son la paella?
Pollo, cebollos.
Cebollas, arroz.
Arroz, yes, sí. Diversas verduras, frijoles, carotes, maíz.
Is it ready? Okay, should we eat it and have a siesta? This looks really good.
This is delicious.
Thank you.
Did you learn to make paella in Spain?
No, I just threw it together at home. I like to experiment with different dishes, so...
Very good. You're a top man. Do you want some? There you go.
Back to work, and another DIY lesson for Saeed. To match the bathroom door, there are 3 new doors to hang. First, the old ones have to come off.
Put it out there. Very small screws in there. Put some longer ones in there. Right, style the way round. Looks like that. Down there, keep the hinge nice and tight. Careful with the knife you don't slip. Right, that's that. Simple. Chop all it out with the chisel now. Same at the bottom. The reason why I'm standing like that, I might look like a bit of a plum, but in actual fact, it's just I'm holding the door.
To keep it firm, yeah.
You mind your hands. Now, when you're chopping hinges, try and chop away from yourself and not towards yourself. Otherwise, you could have a bit of a nasty accident, if you know what I mean.
As a rule, fit your hinges 6 inches from the top and 9 inches from the bottom of the door.
You just take the rough bits off, minding your fingers as you go. I wouldn't bother trying to attempt this either with a blunt chisel, because you'll have a nightmare. All right? Okie dokie. Down there.
So this is what you were calling a butt hinge?
Yep, it's a 3-inch butt hinge. And as you see, screwed down, it's going to be a perfect fit.
I'm just mixing up some more PVA and white matte emulsion, which is exactly the same as we used on the banister yesterday, just to prime this door. And apparently it's the perfect thing to use for this because it basically does 2 jobs in one. It sort of seals it in, it's like a dual primer, and it's the perfect thing to use on the gloss paint and on the MDF.
If the old hinge rebate is too deep, it's good practice to pack it with wood until the new hinge is flush with the door frame. Our new 3-inch hinges are just the right size for the new lighter doors we're fitting.
Right, let's see if it fits. Lovely.
Right, here we go, Anna. Here's the banister. Right.
What sort of angle?
Well, we're going
put this on?
I think the best way of doing this, if you can hold that bracket there, if we do it by eye and follow the actual same gradient as we're going down with the woodwork, so we know that follows the stairs, I think that's pretty close.
Okay.
And it's about the right height. And make sure we've got enough room to get all the fittings on.
Do you want it slightly further up this way, so you've got the
just a
same
fraction.
distance?
Yeah. Well, the brackets are going to be fixed anyway. We can move the pole.
That looks really good, actually, doesn't it? Not that I
nice.
should sound surprised, but...
Again. All right, I'll just mark on the wallpaper. It's got 4 fixings, and we're going to use all of them because obviously there's a bit of weight in the pole itself.
Yeah.
Because being solid brass. Right, we can take that down for a sec. And because of the brass finish as well, the longest screws I could find are these with a brassy colour on them. which will look quite tidy. You can't use silver ones, that'll just look a bit naff.
Yeah.
So if we use those, I mean, they're 3" 10, so it's going to be a good fixing.
Match your wall plug to the screw you're using. Most of them are colour-coded to suit certain screw sizes.
I'm using brown raw plugs, which go in there nicely, just tapping them back a little bit, like so.
That's just about it, isn't it?
Right. And there's the knobs.
Very nice too.
Fitting like so. Shall we go? One more to do down here.
One more, yeah.
Well, I think it's coming along quite well now. I've been left rolling this door, and all the others are really busy upstairs as far as I can work out. But I'll just get on with this now.
It's called Dewberry Frost. Hope Tasmia likes the colour. Though its painting technique's definitely improving.
I've been having quite a good time doing this, but I must say I'm looking forward to putting my feet up later on.
As usual, I get the awkward job. Painting these spindles is time-consuming and takes a lot of patience. I'm sure they'll look great in the end.
Right, we're just going to be popping up Saeed's lights here. We've isolated supply, first thing to do. And we're just going to mark where these lovely little light fittings go. Make sure that's straight. Mark the paper, like so.
If you're uncertain where to drill because of hidden cables, you can use a cable detector. But if in doubt, get an electrician in.
Right, Saeed, I know that you wanted to get access to the loft. You've already got this ladder here, so what is it that's wrong about getting up here?
Well, to be honest with you, Anna, I don't feel safe getting up there. It's a bit rickety, and obviously I'm quite large. So, yeah, maybe if we could make it a bit firmer, and I don't know, what ideas have you got, Jake?
Well, I was thinking this is tight against the wall, which is really in the wrong place for you going up. You know, you're quite a big lad like myself, right?
Big strong boys, yeah.
So I was thinking if we move this ladder over to where that doorstop is, that architrave,
Right.
yeah, it'd give you some shoulder room either side then.
One other thing, what about that handrail?
Well,
Yeah, that's really wonky. I don't know what's happened to it there, because
you're missing a bolt, mate.
I think that's the
You need a
big problem.
butterfly bolt. I'll tell you what, I think I've got one in the van or in my tool bag, right? So I'll have a look and I'll put you another one of those on. So we'll try and sturdy it up as much as possible as we can. That, I don't particularly want to put that the other side because it's not going to give you any leg room at all. Just might as well leave it where it is. If you have it there, your knees are going to be hitting it.
So then you feel safer. You
Yeah.
can store all your records up there and Tasmia won't get on your back.
Wow.
Not exactly long screws for a loft ladder either. Very dangerous. If you are going to start messing with loft ladders and things, make sure you've got somebody with you because you've got an open space here, it's quite big. And if you had an accident, you'd be in deep trouble, so make sure you've got a friend or somebody with you. Right, and then look, I'm just going to put it in line with that architrave, so if I just move it and you move the bottom,
Yep.
that's perfect there. Is that in line?
Is that enough?
That's as much as we're going to get, mate, so, yeah, all right.
Okay.
Yep, lovely job. I'll just do that. I'm going to put some decent sized screws in it. Well, this ladder is definitely going nowhere now.
Definitely a job for two.
It's called teamwork.
Ooh.
Lastly, fitting the missing nut and bolt helps make the ladder a lot more sturdy. And Tasmia's arrived home early.
Tasmia, thank you so much for waiting out here.
It's okay.
We're nearly finished. We're just doing the final finishing touches and clearing up and everything.
Okay.
So, what do you hope it's like?
Bright and homely.
Compared to what was it
What
like
it was
before?
before. It was untidy, plain and bland, and not what not me.
A bit tight. That's it. Beautiful, beautiful job.
A few finishing touches, and then the moment of truth.
We can actually get through the door. Here we go. Right, your first reaction.
Oh my god. It's a bit dark.
Oh dear. It was your choice then, was it?
Well, I wasn't quite sure. I didn't think it'd be quite this purple, actually, but now that I've seen it, it's grown on me. And especially because I've had to put half of it on the walls myself anyway.
Exactly. And you see the door there, we've tried to fit it in with the nature of the cupboards and everything. And Saeed painted it.
The door's nice, I like the carpet.
Does it make a big
That's lovely.
difference?
Is that Shantung lilac you chose?
It's lovely.
Well, also, that was professionally fitted.
Yes.
So, you know.
That's really, really
Well, let's
nice.
go
I like the
upstairs
carpet.
and let's see the full effect of the
Okay.
whole hallway, okay?
Okay.
What do you think of the handrail?
It's really nice. I can't believe it's the same sort of rail that we had earlier, and it's on the other side as well.
Gavin's cut it down to size and then polished it all up and put these knobs on the end.
So you didn't get Say to do it?
Funnily enough, that wasn't one of your jobs, was it?
Bit out of my league, I'm afraid.
And we've got this little brass curtain rail here to tie in with the theme.
It's nice. It matches with the rail over there
Yeah,
as well.
and another
Nice
banister
colour.
there.
That's nice.
Yeah. So that's kind of nice finishing touches, but this is even more significant. Taking the glass out, you know, Gavin and Jake took a while to do that, and then putting all these new spindles in.
That's nice. That's good. That's good safety measure for Haroon as well. It's really nice.
What about the doors? These are all new doors. They all match in now.
They look really nice. They
And-
really do look nice, the doors.
Best of all,
And the lights.
Jake hung the doors, Gavin fixed the lights, so you don't have to worry about Saeed having a hand in any of those.
They
But
all will work.
the pièce de résistance, I can actually get up into the loft now and put all my records up there, which has been going on.
You better start doing it now then. You've got all that mess to clear up.
Yeah, Jake's actually adapted the ladder so that Saeed feels a bit more confident to go up there.
Yeah.
So
Brilliant.
loads more
Good.
storage space, so I suppose we should put the records up there, don't you think?
Off we go.
For a clear print booklet on the series, send a cheque for £4 made out to BSS to Big Strong Boys, PO Box 1001, Manchester M60 3JB. An audio tape is also available.
Well done, boys.
Sorted.
That's nearly it, isn't it?
I think that is.
I think it looks beautiful. Very nice.
Gorgeous.